going on, everyone? Welcome to an emergency stream edition of the Breakdown Sportscast. I'm your good friend and host, Kory Willis. I hope everyone is doing well on a Monday evening out there. Yeah, appreciate you guys being on the stream as always. As always, guys, we appreciate what you do with this community, of course. If you want to follow everything Chris and I do here on the Breakdown Sportscast, you can follow us on all of our social media platforms. We're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, at BD Sportscast. You can find all of our content there. If you want to listen to us on podcast format, you can listen to us on any of your favorite podcast applications, past and present episodes, of course. And yeah, if you're listening to us stream here on our official YouTube channel and our Twitch channel, we very much appreciate that. At Breakdown Video Game Cast on Twitch, if you guys are on there, we appreciate you guys' support. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all of that great stuff. Let your friends know who we are, and yeah. As always, guys, we appreciate your support. As always, I'm here with my good friend and co-host. You know who he is. He is Chris Bolton. Chris, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Kory? Like you said, man, it's a little emergency episode real quick. A lot has transpired in Baton Rouge in the last 24 hours. So might as well, get into it.
Yes, we might as well go ahead. And yeah, man, as we're talking about this, and it's not going to be a long stream, of course, Chris. I'm just still mind boggled by when we were recording on Sunday evening. All of this stuff was going on in the background. If we were just a little bit more nosy on social media, we would have found out that the LSU boosters they were steps ahead of us. They were already working in the background on all of this stuff.
Yeah, man. The boosters weren't playing any games. They were getting some things figured out after LSU getting beaten black and blue by the Aggies in Death Valley. Some change had to happen, Kory, and Brian Kelly. We were talking about in the pod that whether it might be the offensive coordinators getting fired or the assistants. People in LSU, they ain't had time for that. They went straight for the jugular, Kory.
The jugular, they did. they said, look, by the end of the Breakdown Sportscast, you're going. Okay, like we getting you out of there. We getting your pink slip. You're going. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Enough is enough.
Brian Kelly, you got to go.
So yeah. Overall, yeah, folks. We're here to talk about it, and I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen. Brian Kelly out as the LSU head football coach. This was announced, I'd like to say, probably around like 7-ish, just a little bit after 7-ish, Chris, on a Sunday evening. It was reiterated that they let Brian Kelly go. They relieved him of his duties. And I think there was a whole team meeting probably around like 9, or probably going on 10-ish, down there in Baton Rouge, where they relayed to the team that Brian Kelly was no longer going to be the head ball coach there for the Tigers. And since then, as we're recording this, Chris, on a Monday evening, Joe Sloan, offensive coordinator, out. So it's been a lot of stuff that's been brewing. That's been the ball's been rolling. I should say, Chris.
Yeah.
Down there in Baton Rouge, they've been doing a lot of cleanup duty.
Yeah. And Coach Sloan was one of Brian Kelly's guys. That was his hire. So it makes sense that if Kelly has been let go, that Sloan would get the axe as well, Kory.
Yeah. It was just a matter of time. We had been talking about this, Chris, for weeks now, and just seeing this offense and how putrid it was. It was terrible. They came into the the preseason talking raving about these receivers. We were raving about these receivers. We were raving
Mm-hmm.
about Caden Durham being one of the top running backs in the country, on
Mm-hmm.
top of all the
Nussmeyer.
accolades that Nussmeyer was getting. We were saying he was a Heisman favorite. That's all of that has been nothing like what we were talking about in the off season. And like what they've become as an offense this season, it's been a lot left to be desired. And yeah, all of the accolades, all of that has poofed, went away. And now LSU's without a head ball coach. They're without an offensive coordinator. Hell, there might be some more people getting ready to be out of there. As we're recording right now, it's just it's just a mess of epic proportions, Chris. And now LSU is going to be on the job market for another head ball coach. Who that's going to be? I mean, we got some potential picks that I think LSU should be looking at. So yeah, it's what a wild time we're living in, Chris, in the world of NIL and just the pressure on these coaches. It's definitely a crazy time.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, when you look at LSU bringing in Brian Kelly, it was always an interesting choice because Brian, when you think of LSU football, you don't necessarily think of a guy like Brian Kelly. And looking at how this all has played out, I'm not surprised. Brian Kelly came into LSU wanting to do things the Brian Kelly way. And LSU is a job that I feel like you have to fully embrace what is the LSU culture. This is what the state of Louisiana is all about. It's LSU football and the Saints. Those are the loves that they have out there in Louisiana. Pro football, college football, LSU and the Saints, those two things. And you have to embrace what is LSU, what makes LSU special. And the coaches who have had success have done that. You know, you there's people that are staples to the area, have been around the LSU program for decades, for years. You need to welcome, keep be embrace them with welcome arms. Like, okay, I understand you're integral to how things are ran here. You're going to stay on the staff. That wasn't the approach Brian Kelly had. And so when you want to do things that way, now you have put even more pressure on yourself, Kory, to win. Because you ain't embraced LSU. You came in here like, this is how I do things. We're going to do it my way. And your way only works when you're winning. If you embrace the culture, that can buy you a season or two if you're struggling, because people like you. You don't want to fire nobody you like, Kory. So that can buy you some time. But he never met the expectations, and by coming in doing things the way Brian Kelly did, rubbing people the wrong way, now you got it to the point where people weren't even going to give you the full season to try to rectify this, to see how, if you finish 9-3 or 8-4, 7-5. They said, "Oh, Penn State's open, Florida's open. You on the downward trend. You got to go. We already see how this thing's finna finish. We're not even going to give you a chance to finish it. You got to go now." So it's interesting. It's a tough break for Brian Kelly, but based on the reports that are coming out, you reap what you sow, and he didn't sow seeds of people wanting to give you a chance to try to fix this with how it's played out because of what you've put into the program. It doesn't seem like Brian Kelly really poured into LSU, and so now LSU will bounce back because Kory, this is one of the 10 best jobs in the nation. I mean, this is I argue it's one of the 5 best jobs in the nation. You got that talent pool of Louisiana, you're adjacent to Mississippi, Tennessee's right there next door, Texas right there next to you, Oklahoma nearby. I mean, it's just a pool of talent that you can recruit from, and the people, the buy-in there at LSU, um, yeah, it's a incredible job. So the program will be fine. Um, just a tough break for Brian Kelly.
Indeed, yeah, I definitely agree with you, Chris. It's rough break, but yeah, I've I've listened to a ton of people from yesterday to today, and ongoing, just about this whole situation, Chris. And yeah, when you're a head football coach at a prestigious program like LSU, and you get the sense that you don't want to be there, why not cut ties now? Why are you here? You look at this team this season, Chris. Like we said, they had high hopes, playoff berth, national championship aspirations, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
All that is gone now because of your own doing of being the head football coach that really just didn't want to be there. What is that kind of attitude sending out to these players that were on this team? Hell, Harold Perkins literally, I think just yesterday, announced that he was pretty much sitting out for the rest of the season. And I think this is the year for him to prep for the NFL.
Yeah,
What
I don't.
what did that tell you?
That'll be real bad if he's doing that. That really says a lot. Because Harold is a very talented player. But yeah, this is if you're not getting the buy-in from the coach, then the guys, it's going to be tough to get the full buy-in from your players. So yeah, it is best in this situation that Brian Kelly's being let go. It seems like because it just ain't clicking. It ain't working. So just go ahead and cut your ties. And I feel like we're about to have an Ed Orgeron kind of situation, Kory. It's if you get what I'm saying. You remember Orgeron was at Ole Miss initially before going to LSU. Well, who happens to be the head coach at Ole Miss right now? Lane Kiffin. Wouldn't that be poetic if another Ole Miss coach gets poached by LSU and ends up becoming the head coach there?
The Magnolia Bowl just doesn't happen on the gridiron. It happens in the war rooms. It happens at your local coffee shops.
Man, that would be interesting. But I can see it happening. I can see it happening. LSU people are calling for Lane Kiffin. He's the hot commodity this coaching cycle.
Mm-hmm. He is. We're talking about potential coaching hires across the nation right now. When it pertains to Louisiana State University, like it is a top premier job, and I do not see how a guy like Lane Kiffin won't be enticed to go to a place like Baton Rouge, a place like Louisiana, where there's just a hotbed of talent, to potentially become the head coach down there. Like That'd be crazy. And hey, look, what would be even more amazing? His daughter's dating with Weeks.
Oh man.
Why not?
Yeah, yeah. In all seriousness, though, Kory, LSU is the move. If I'm Lane Kiffin, I'm not leaving Ole Miss to go to Florida. Personally, um, you have to compete with Florida State, Miami, and others for the top talent in Florida, and also nowadays you got to compete with Ohio State too, who has built up a pipeline in the state of Florida. Jeremiah Smith, I believe he's from Miami Gardens, if I'm not mistaken. And so
Yes.
he's somebody that Ohio State came into the state of Florida and said, "We need you,"
Mm-hmm.
and got him. Um, there's a lot of Florida kids going to your Georgias, your Ohio States, your Alabamas. Um, if you are in Louisiana, and Louisiana has plenty of talent, those kids from Louisiana, they grow up dreaming of going to LSU. There's no other. There's no other option. You just want to go to LSU. Doesn't matter who the coach is. Those people in Louisiana are all about the program from high school, from adolescence. They're all about LSU, and so Ole Miss has had its, I feel like, struggles when it comes to just the high school recruiting. You get some good guys, but the base of this team, the core of everything, has been hitting the portal for Ole Miss. If you're Lane Kiffin, you got a high school base that's going to year in and year out produce top 10 high school recruiting classes. And you'll get your pick of the litter with the portal. And fan base got a little more sense than the Alabama fan base. So you don't necessarily get the same pressures that come with being the head coach at Alabama, Kory. Even though LSU is a crazy fan base, it will expect you to, be a 9-10, to at least bring in 9-10 wins. And then give us a national championship every 4 years. I think that's reasonable at LSU. So that's going to be a tough opportunity to pass up. I think LSU is a prime job.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you, Chris. I mean, this is. Yeah, I was thinking about it before we got on live. Like it's definitely in the top five. I might say it's the number one job in America. Like just being down there, that crowd, Death Valley. Those people love LSU football. They love LSU, and
And if
this
you embrace
is
LSU, LSU will embrace you.
yeah, exactly, and that's why I was gonna say like this is a job that you have to embrace it because it, like you said, if you embrace it, they will embrace you and they will give you the resources to become great there. If you're locked in, they're locked in with you. And this whole issue right here was Brian Kelly wasn't locked in. He did not want to be there. Not for the same reasons that um, the fan base wanted him there. They wanted him there because they thought that he would want to be at a place like LSU. They thought that he would want to compete for national championships on a year in, year out basis, but that didn't happen. So, now they're going through the whole coaching search again. And look, I think they're right front and center. One of the other things, Chris, was that because I didn't really think about this, is that if you're a Florida Gator, you didn't want this to happen like this. You didn't want to go into a coaching battle with LSU
No,
with the war chest, the Cam Newton war chest that the LSU Tigers have. Like that that's rough in this
that is
coaching
rough,
market.
and it's only making things more difficult for these other universities.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, I mean, Auburn is a great job, but do you, Auburn, do you want to compete with LSU and Florida this coaching cycle? Well, you're going to be number three on the totem pole. Do you know? And when it comes to SEC jobs, uh, I mean, and you could arguably say Ole Miss. It's reached a point if Lane Kiffin were to leave where it's equal to Auburn, and it has shown at least in this era of college football that you can win at Ole Miss. Auburn, that's kind of the old cycle. You know how things used to be, the 2010s. That's been proven to be a winner. You haven't had success in the 2020s at Auburn, so that's something to keep in mind too. So there's several jobs that could possibly open up. I'm not so sure if you want to be competing with the LSU's and Floridas of the world. You might want to you might want to see if you can rectify things, and maybe we'll give you one more year to get this bad boy figured out. Because the the top jobs, they'll be able to get their guy, and now you're gonna be left settling. I don't know if you want to be left settling.
No, that's what makes this interesting. Is do you want to be left settling while also knowing that LSU, Florida, Penn State, probably someone else will become open.
South Carolina might open up. Virginia Tech, we talked about it Sunday. Virginia Tech is open.
Yeah,
Who says Shane Beamer might not say, "Hey, let me get ahead of this thing,"
right.
and go to Virginia Tech?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
It's
this
crazy.
is just beginning. Yeah, we have a whole lot that can still take place, Kory.
Yeah. No, no, no. You're absolutely right, Chris. Yeah, this is crazy times in terms of the coaching carousel of college football. I don't even think we can call it a carousel anymore. It's a tornado.
Yeah, yeah, we've been hard pressed to see anything like this. You know, coaches' leashes are getting shorter and shorter. We invested all this NIL money. Why ain't you winning? Then you look down, a few states over. Indiana's number two in the nation. Vanderbilt's number nine. What the hell we got going on here? We Florida. We LSU. you can't do what they doing. When this is what we know for doing.
Some don't add up. Some ain't mixing.
Math ain't mathing. Yeah, the math ain't mathing. And so yeah, these coaches, boy, you got to come in day one, Kory, and be on it. The days of seeing your freshman class, come in and graduate, of getting your 4 years to just give me 4 years. By year four, y'all gonna see. Just let me get my own class. Let me see my first class through. We gonna be fine. But you barely get 2.5 now.
I know, and that's the nature of the game now with NIL, Chris. We've talked about it. It is it's a beast. It is a monster now to overcome when you have like these rivalries, in-state rivalries. You look at Mississippi State, Ole Miss, of course. They're two middle of the pack teams. While yeah, you can kind of say Ole Miss for the last couple of years have started to kind of bolster themselves up as a upper middle tier
Mm-hmm.
SEC team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're both still competing for players within the state, out of the state, especially out of state more than ever,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, and NIL money. All of that is a smorgasbord now of where we're at, and for programs like that, it's even more difficult now. It is the times that we're in, and You can either adapt as a head ball coach, or you can crack under pressure like Brian Kelly and others. So it's definitely a challenge. But one of the things is you do find those diamonds in the rough where they can handle those situations, and they rally the fan base behind them. And what do you know? Next thing, um, you're fundraising, you're getting players, and you become Kurt Signetti.
Yeah, yeah. So, and with this short leash that these coaches are getting, um, I don't think this is sustainable, Kory. I mean, this everybody can't afford to be out here paying buyouts, getting rid of their coach after 2 seasons. Mississippi State. Don't y'all jump out here in these waters.
Don't do it.
But you better let Jeff Levy ride this thing on out. I know it's been tough. You haven't been able to measure the growth with wins, but your team is improving. You better stick to that, man. Let him take his bumps on the head this season as a head coach, and iron them, smooth them out this summer, and,
Mm-hmm.
and get back to it in year three. Because I don't think you want to be out here trying to necessarily maybe get your old thing back and see how Dan Mullen does, um, or try to hit nail a home run higher with after just giving somebody 2 seasons. Um, this ain't what you want. You don't want to be out here in these streets. So
This ain't what you want. This ain't
this
what you want.
Mississippi State and all these other schools who are just being honest, sub tier, maybe SEC or Big Ten programs. This is it's rough out here, man. It's rough out here. So I think these teams they gonna learn, man. I know you need the fan support, you need the NIL money, but you these instant results is tough. I know Indiana's doing it, but man, you can't just afford to just jump ship every other year, Kory, and try to get a new head coach. That's just unrealistic.
Yeah, it is. It's flat out unrealistic, and yeah, if the smaller schools are reeling through doing stuff like that, the bigger schools are. So, yeah, it's definitely just the world that we're living in now, and I think it's not that I'm thinking. It's I know. I think we can see the proof is in the pudding, Chris. It's challenging fan bases to become more patient about this. Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say. You have to be
But then
patient.
it's hard to be patient when you put your pockets into getting the results. It's a dilemma. It's a catch-22. So
It is. I
yeah,
agree.
it definitely is. It definitely is. We mentioned Lane Kiffin as somebody that we're sure is on LSU's board.
Hmm.
Who's some other names that you think could the Tigers could possibly be looking to go after?
Chris, I know his name has been kind of thrown out there here and there, and I think he's at a great job right now. But people are really looking at Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame. Is Notre Dame a place that's going to be easy for a Marcus Freeman to win at, or could a place like LSU be a place he could thrive in? It does kind of make me wonder.
Another Notre Dame coach, back to back Notre
Another
Dame coaches.
back to back Notre Dame coaches, but a difference. I think Marcus Freeman for one, Chris. He's a younger coach. Um, he looks like a player's coach. The players love him, and yeah, I think overall That just makes him relatable. So I
Mm-hmm.
think for LSU's sake, I think they want to get a coach that's definitely relatable because if he can be relatable to guys in South Bend, I think he can be relatable to guys um, in Baton Rouge. So he's one of my picks that I have for LSU to probably tap into. Will he take it? Who knows? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But it's definitely an interesting choice. Couple others out there. I know we've talked about like John Sumrall. I think John Sumrall Kentucky job is probably up for up for him to get. So that may not be a place um,
That
that
would be
he
a
goes to.
big step.
It could be a big step. I mean, he's already in the state. That is one thing that maybe I won't necessarily X out, but
Hmm.
he
It
is
almost
already
feels
in the
like
state.
he's a job away from being a job away.
Right.
I could see him having being successful at Kentucky, and then he'll be the next hot commodity for like a
Mm-hmm.
top tier SEC job. I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, yeah. I mean, John Summerall. If I had to delve into offensive coordinators, of course, maybe Charlie Weiss Jr. If he was to, leave under Lane Shadows and try to pitch
Hmm.
in a head coaching position. Maybe he could be someone to do that. Is would LSU want to go in the coordinator route instead of going just straight for the juggler for the head coaching route? That's interesting. I mean, we can say the same thing about Florida. Um,
Do you
they want to
think
get someone proven.
there's any chance in the world that LSU could get Nick Saban to get off game day and come back home to LSU?
Man, Chris, I'm gonna say
Because
this.
if I'm at LSU, I think that's the first call you make.
I, I've heard this, of course, um, uh, laughingly from Joe Clatt. He mentioned that. I will say this: it's gonna be tough, just because I feel like, man, Nick sees how volatile
I
college
think the college
football had.
football that he came up wanting to coach.
Yeah, I just a part of me seems like he's not trying to deal um with these kinds of players nowadays with the NIL being invested in the college football. It's a different player now than ever before. And you saw it in his last couple of years, Chris tried to deal with it. It seemed like he hung on as long as he could until he couldn't.
Hmm.
Part of me feels like he would love to give it at least maybe 3 to 5 more years, and that would officially be it. But a
Hmm.
part of me feels like deuces. He's done. He has done everything he can do.
Oh man.
But who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? I would at least try, and I am 99% sure that LSU will reach out to Nick Saban's agent at least to see if he would entertain the thought of possibly negotiating a deal to come back to Louisiana State University. I know he was at Alabama, but I think all will be forgiven if they are able to run it back again. Something that was cut off way too soon because of Nick's ambition to go to the Miami Dolphins, and we saw how things played out in the NFL, and he missed college football, and it just the timing just so worked out that Mike Shula had to go, and the job opened up for Nick Saban to come coach Alabama, and the rest is history. But we'll see how this plays out. But I definitely would try to get Nick Saban if I'm the Tigers.
Yeah, look, like I said, the opportunity is there, but if I had to gauge it, Chris, I
I don't
think
think he's going to do it either.
I think LSU they have about as little as a shot as Michigan State does. You want to see that again, Chris? Michigan State, Nick Saban returns.
Oh man! Oh man! That'll be funny.
that
That would
that
be
would
funny.
that would be funny.
Nah, you're probably right, but that just it feels right though, because honestly, that tenure was cut off too soon, man. LSU was supposed to be honestly what that would end up becoming.
I know. It sucks, man. And look, I know LSU fans did not want to deal with this at all. But here they are. Some people may say Brian Kelly should have never been a part of the LSU Tiger faithful. It just wasn't, to me. It just wasn't a great fit. But hey, you live to fight another day, I guess.
I'm um I'm curious to see. There's a name that I haven't heard, but I could see him doing great things at LSU if he's the guy that I think he is and would buy into the LSU culture.
Mhm.
I wonder what Mario Cristobal, how he would perform as the head coach at LSU. This is a guy that's a proven track record of bringing in talent, and I feel like if he's able to, get the right supporting staff and trust, some of the people that have been around the LSU program, because I'm sure LSU will be working very hard to bring back people that they know for sure should be at LSU. Bring them back, whether it's strength coach, key assistants who have strong ties to the high school recruiting, guys like that. They will definitely work hard to bring back, regardless of who the coach is. Because there's always a few coaches, no matter what university you're coaching at, that everybody at the university knows you need this guy here. It doesn't matter who's the head coach; those guys are part of the program. And so, I think Mario Cristobal could do some big things if he was the head coach at LSU. Yeah, I just feel like there's a higher ceiling at LSU than there is at Miami, respectfully. But that's a name that me myself, if I was a part of this search, and I know if he's had his struggles, he hasn't made the playoffs yet. I just feel like he's a guy that, given opportunity at LSU, I think he could do some special things there.
Yeah. No, you're spot on with that, man. So yes, look. This is an interesting time. First and foremost, we were looking for this to happen, but not at the timing. The timing of it
Yeah,
is what
we
makes it
saw that
crazy.
it could be on the way, especially if they had lost to Arkansas.
Hmm.
Kory, oh, he wouldn't have seen the bus home after losing to Arkansas. But the way A&M flexed on LSU, hey, that the boosters had a coup. They had to come together that night. Said, hell no, he got to go. We can't take this. We can't stand for this. They A&M fans had Tiger Stadium swaying and rocking.
And one Tigers fans making it sway and
It looked like the 11th and a half man. Like it was almost it was crazy how many Aggie fans were there, and they took over. They took over Tiger Stadium.
Man, you would have thought Tiger Stadium was Kyle Field. Tiger Stadium, no, Death Valley, Tiger Stadium, and Kyle Field. That's what it's been called. You just put them together.
Put them all together. Hey, that is unacceptable.
It is.
That's unacceptable. That's why we are where we're at now. So man, the soap opera that is college football, Kory. I mean, we're not even done with the season yet. More people are going to get fired.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is. It is literally the world that we're living in right now, Chris. And hey, it shows the pressure that a lot of these coaches have to succeed. Win now, get players, all of that great stuff. Fundraise to get more players. The pressure to succeed.
Fundraise to keep players.
Yeah, fundraise to keep players. Can't forget about that. All of that. It's a lot of pressure. It really makes you wonder. There was times that I thought that maybe I could be a head ball coach in college. Yeah, I don't think I want to deal with this this kind of pressure, Chris.
It's we talk about it, but this isn't sustainable. And I think there's going to come a time in the next 20 years where we will hit a wall head on and something's going to give.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the NIL, the university's paying these guys, but they don't have the money to pay these guys. And by these guys, I mean the players, and then you got the buyouts and the coaches. This is not sustainable. And this will all come to a screeching halt soon, Kory. Yeah. It's coming in the next 20 years, if not before then.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. We'll see it. I think you're right. And look, we'll be here. We will be talking about it. That's for sure.
That's a constant.
Yeah, exactly.
College football might be changing, but we'll be here.
Yeah, we'll be here. We'll be here talking about all the good and bad. Oh man, but yeah, I think that's pretty much our thoughts, folks, on that, on the whole situation. Of course, me, Chris, and I will be definitely following along with all these updates, any other news about any other coaches across college football that's eye opening. We'll definitely be here to bring all that news and discuss on our podcast and beyond. So, but yeah, folks. Happy that you guys got a chance to hear our thoughts. Of course, as always, be sure to listen to all of our thoughts on our podcast. We have our episodes every Friday and Sunday. Our Sundays are our live episodes, so feel free to tap in with us, listen to our thoughts about the week that was in college football. As always, Chris and I are always excited to break down all of the big games over the weekend in college football. But before we head out of here, Chris, let the good folks know where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, you can find me on X at Chris_Bolton_12 and on Instagram at Chris.Bolton_. Holla at your boy, and also appreciate everybody. I want to say we had 50 live viewers for Sunday's show yesterday. So thank you all for tuning in, watching the show, helping the show continue to grow. So please, just keep hitting that like button. Comment. Let us know what you guys think about this whole Brian Kelly firing and who you think LSU is going to probably go after, who will ultimately be the new guy running things at LSU. So, but yeah, you can find me on those social media applications. And just again, thank you all.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Chris. Yeah, folks, and you can find me on X at Listen to KSW. On there talking college football, of course. Following along with that, World Series is going on right now. It's a great World
Yeah.
Series, and yeah, professional wrestling, all that great stuff. So yeah, definitely follow me on there. But yeah, folks, as always, we appreciate you guys listening to us on the stream on uh, a busy Monday evening out there, folks. So yeah, definitely let your friends know, friends and family know about the Breakdown Sportscast and what we do here. And yeah, we'll be back, of course, this Friday to get you set for Week 10 of the college football season. Goodness gracious, Chris, we're almost there.
Time, man. Time is moving.
Exactly. Time is moving. So yeah, definitely follow us as we get you set for week 10 of the college football season. And yeah, until next time, guys, I'm Kory Willis. He's Chris Bolton. You are listening to the Breakdown Sportscast. We'll chat with y'all later.
Peace.
Peace.